Did we wear clothes? No, we didn't wear any clothes. It was a statement that we were making. But the statement was misunderstood by the foreigners. The visitors said we were naked. And we believed it. They said we were naked. Could you imagine a man standing here without no clothes? Since creation? How old is creation, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody knows. But since creation, we lived in the forests of Africa without no clothes. And one day some strangers came and said, you are naked. And because we, their children, have negated them and misinterpret our parents, we become like embarrassed because our parents lived in Africa without no clothes. Yes, they had no clothes. See, body without no clothes receives oxygen. It keeps you calm, it keeps you healthy. With polyester, it deprives you of oxygen. Haven't you heard the policeman in Los Angeles that was jogging with the polyester and fell dead? The deprivation of oxygen. We wore no clothes. No, we didn't. But there was no prostitution. See? And when our parents ate, they ate from the tree. When they bathed their body, it was in a river without chlorine or 200 chemicals. And they were savages?
No.
A man that ate the freshest food in the world and bathed in the cleanest river was a savage. Well, let us take a journey, because I am the son of the savage. I am her child. I am their child. I am my mother's son. Fortunately for me, she is, has been, and will always be the only entity that I would ever listen to. No one else, nobody else. No philosophy or no one else, my mother. I came out of her. She deserved every credit that I would ever muster up. After all, I could never pay my mother because I'm her child. So we're going to journey back and steer into our mothers now. It is said through the history of medicine that medicine began in Egypt. It sure did. Well, if medicine began in Egypt, it said that there was a need for medicine in Egypt. And if there was a need for medicine in Egypt, there was a violation. The people in the forests of Africa need no medicine. They had no doctors. Why? There was no violation.
May I have your attention? May I have your attention?
The only reason that we become sick...
Contact security. Officer Moses, contact security. Thank you.
The only reason that we become sick is when there is a violation. But in the forests of Africa, you could not violate because there were no rice, there were no beans, there was no carrots, there were no hogs, there were no cows, there was no wheat in Africa. The Africa did not eat those foods because those foods that I just mentioned that are supposed to be food substances, they are laboratory products. And the black man did not alter nature or add it in any way, remove or add. So you see, what did we eat? What did the African eat in the forests of Africa that is so necessary to know today? Because our body is in need of it. We are sick. But the anthropologists that came to us, the archaeologists, the paleontologists, the historians, they didn't talk about what our parents ate. What did they talk about? I don't know. Whatever they talked about was of no consequence because now we are sicker than we ever been. But we read all those books. Well, I read no book. So we're going to journey now on a natural perspective, a natural canoe. Since medicine did not begin in the jungles of Africa, and it began in Egypt, we know that there were violations. Hippocrates came years later and brought the science and established the science of the medical science today. Hippocrates in 365 BC. He used herbs too. The question should be asked now, why isn't the physician using herbs today if Hippocrates was the father of medicine? So we find that instead of us understanding We criticize, like the Usher Institute has been criticized. Well, our parents does not allow us to criticize them. It is time to look at them and worship them, follow them.